You haven't got any fast rate, have you? Has anyone got
That's
any?
it. Oh, sorry, Wembley. John needs.
I would never do Wembley without
ret.
fast ret. Okay. I'll still f it up. Here we go. We're rolling, yeah? It worked. Fast ret.
Fast ret. Welcome back to Andertons TV. I'm with the wonderful John Connon today, back from the future to save humanity.
Digital John.
So, Zoom.
Yes.
Is that where it all started? Did you, is that like, when you're like, Father Christmas, please can I have a Zoom
I was a pub boy. Yeah, completely skipped past Zoom.
Fine. Well, Zoom, when I was a child, when I learned to play guitar, they were like the OGs of guitar multi-effects.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say over recent years we have been highly critical of the more expensive Zoom stuff, didn't really like that, but have been quite complimentary of the cheaper stuff. And this is sort of in the middle.
This is 200-ish, right?
There's two versions of this, one with an expression pedal on it called the G2X4. Which is £229, I think. And then if you don't want the expression pedal, you can have the smaller one without the X on it for £199.
Does tons.
It does what?
It does
it does tons.
Yeah.
Shall we tell people what it does?
So essentially it's like a modeler rig in a box, right? It's not supposed to be anything new. Really, it's just like a, multi-effects in a box with a pedal, yeah?
Cool. Yes, I'm just checking this off the list of things that you tell people.
Hotone Ampero type products, some Veiltons, that sort of unit. I'd say the Veiltons it's main competitor at around the 200 quid price.
You're probably right.
But obviously the interface is a little different. We've got some clunky buttons and switches. And it's kind of, the build quality is either really good or really not.
I think this is plastic made to look like carbon fibre.
Yeah.
If it's carbon fibre, I apologise. So, features straight hot from the Zoom website. 22 amp and cabinet models using multi-layered impulse response technology. 79 effects, including modelling of renowned boutique pedals. Up to 6 effects plus 1 at a time. Why isn't that just 7 then? Why does it 6 effects plus, or maybe it's talking about 6 effects plus this, maybe. I'm not sure about that. You can adjust the EQ, you can save up to 300 patches. You can use an app.
You can.
Tell them about how much fun we had trying to get the app to work, John.
I now know there's a different app for each Zoom unit after, 45 minutes of not using the right app? And you have to pay 99p. Which,
99p? I think that's out of order, Zoom. The app should be free. It's just the editor app for this, but it's 99p. But it gets worse. How long did it take you to try and tether your phone via Bluetooth to a unit that hasn't got Bluetooth?
We gave up, is how long it took.
So yeah, this feels a bit old-fashioned to me. It's designed to, the editor's designed to run on a phone or a tablet, works on either iOS or Android. But A, you've got to buy the app, bad, and B, it's not Bluetooth, so you've still got to have a cable to plug your phone into it. But
I can say though, the app itself was actually quite nice. It was very smooth and intuitive.
We have a looper built in. We have rhythms, 68 different rhythms, which I've got to say, previously when we've done Zoom stuff, the drum sounds have been very good considering the price of this. We do have USB-C, which will work as well as the editor. It will also be a 2-in, 2-out audio interface. So it's got stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I guess what most people want to know is how does it sound?
Yeah.
So you heard in that initial little opening jam, preset number 1 called Smorking 2021.
Which refers to something, but we can't figure it out.
We think these are song names, so comment below if you recognise the song names. Flathead 2020, let's hear it. We haven't doctored these at all. This is straight into our interface. Bosh, go. Cosmic Sand 2019.
I love an auto wah. Yeah.
Got a little bit of drive on it as well.
Nice and funky.
Lost in PA. We'll only do
Lost
about
in Paris,
7 or 8 of these. As we like that one, I shall just take a small intermission here to say, wherever you're on a preset, if you hit this switch here, it starts to show you the pedals that you've got on that particular patch. So you can see we've got compressor, soft echo going into an amp called a UK30A. And then if I use these enormous and what does that even remind you of? It's like a really old-fashioned computer keyboard or something, isn't it? Like
it's quite a nice noise. It's like a solid car indicator type thing.
Maybe. That's where you can see here. So on this particular patch, you can see we've got the first 3 blocks have got something assigned. Then we've got 4, 5, and 6 with nothing assigned. So we could add another effect to that. And then we've got the volume pedal at the end. If you want to use the looper or rhythms and stuff like that, that takes up one of those blocks. You have to basically add like a rhythm pedal or a looper pedal. And then when you are in this mode, you'll notice that the red lights will come on. So that's as simple as compressor turns on and off. You know, it's whatever pedal is associated with that. So I thought we'd just show you that as a quick intermission. What's the next one? Goat.
Goat. Oh no.
System of a Down. What's this? Polyphia.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it is.
I had to learn this for like we did a Can I Learn Polyphia in an hour thing for Norral, and I haven't learned it, but I'm going to try it.
Is it Polyphia?
Yeah, I think
it's 2018. Weren't they all like 6 years old then?
Yeah.
I thought
Goat.
Yeah, it's an older song that I thought.
Really?
I thought System of a Down was Goat. It's definitely Polyphia, is it?
2018.
What do I know? If it was written after 1977, I'd give up.
Here's
Right, come on,
Goat.
Go.
This is the hard bit. I hate it. It's really hard. That's all I'm going to do.
That was recognisable though. Dean Town.
That's a Wolfpack thing. I don't know any.
I kind of think like naming all the patches after songs is kind of sometimes inspiring. Yeah, I would say it's mainly inspiring. It kind of gives you, this kind of unit I think is always aimed at sort of like first time multi-effects kind of buyer. So I quite like the fact that you're going, oh, okay. It's probably easier to know what the kind of sound is if it's named after a song that you're familiar with than just a sort of a pointless made up patch name. What's Hands of Tea?
Hands of Tea. It's a noisy patch.
Time. It is a bit noisy, isn't it? Right, did I say already as well, we're connected into the interface? Did I say that?
Oh, no,
I don't think I did.
We're DI'd out the back.
DI'd straight into our interface. I'm sure many of you will buy these kinds of units to plug into your little guitar amp at home, Boss Katana, whatever it might be. Honestly, I think you're best off trying to plug into an effects return, but if you've got a really small amplifier that doesn't have that kind of feature, you just want like the cleanest, flattest, clean sound that you can get out of your amplifier.
And there is a setting in the output of this where you can do that as well.
Okay, 7 Deadly Sins from 2016.
Not Guns N' Roses, but...
We'll do a couple more. Stranded.
That's the exact same sound.
Champagne. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Has that
bright.
got some weird wah-wah on it?
Nice and bright.
Yeah. Okay, so we could go on and on and on and on. Like I said, what's quite nice is if you're in the mode where you can see the patch you're on and you adjust the knobs underneath, it dives straight into an EQ and volume setting. So that's regardless of, that's always, if you like, so it's dead easy to get to. If you go into the mode where you can see the pedals, essentially, depending on which pedal is slightly elevated, so as you can see as I click through, the knobs underneath now will do whatever the appropriate knobs are on that pedal. I've got to be honest with you, it feels like a slightly archaic interface.
Takes a minute, doesn't it?
I'm so used to now brands like Hotone doing now even touchscreen, even Veilton where it's at least colour and slightly more better laid out. This does feel a bit like using a Zoom unit from like 1997 or something.
I think the app will help with that.
Definitely.
It's definitely a bit more of a tactile interface, but yeah. And you can, we show that you can swap out the different pedals with the up?
Yeah,
as well,
so I mean, again, I think this is another one of those parts of the user experience where you'll, let me come out of this for a minute, where you'll basically have to just get used to it. So if what I was finding, so you go in here and then let's say you want to add another effect. So you find an empty block, that's fine. You hit the up button and then you've got this weird sort of layout of like, I suppose it's type of pedal is in like a vertical column. So your first column is all the compressors and your next column is filters and EQs. Then you've got some overdrives, then you've got some modulation, delays, reverbs. And then once you're in the column that you want to be in, kind of going up and down, you can kind of see the different kinds of reverbs. But it's not, I guess until you're quite familiar with this, it's not possible to see where the effect is that you want. You're almost kind of just scrolling through slightly randomly to see what you can find.
But I think the sound quality is actually all right for the price. I think
that's what John said.
On some of the presets, some are a bit more dialed in than others.
Okay.
For what I like, but there were some of them.
Keep playing through. Go through it. Find one that you really like.
Okay.
And then we'll put the looper and the rhythm pedals on that patch, and you can kind of jam out and show how that.
Let's do that. It's all right.
That sounds all right, doesn't it? Okay, look, we didn't have to go very far to find one that John liked, so that's good. Press the button. This is an EP drive into a Krampus amp. If I remember rightly, that's one of Zoom's proprietary kind of amp models. Parametric EQ, and then nothing. So after that, it doesn't matter which one we'll do. We'll just go into number 5, and then I go all the way to the end, I think, and I find Rhythm Bomber. What's that? Rhythm. Here we go. So we find Rhythm. I can choose my type of rhythm. I think there were, didn't it say there was 60 or something? I can't remember. It says disco, seeing as you've come dressed for it
disco
today, or do you just want rock? Should I just do rock?
Yeah.
We'll just do rock. They've got emo. Is that you? It is, isn't it?
That's totally me,
Okay, let's do emo. You can have a count in. BPM, what kind of BPM, what kind of...
what's the most emo?
700?
Yeah.
No,
120 is emo.
120 is emo, okay, fine. And then you can adjust the volume. So, now we are going to select that pedal by doing that. So that's now in my rig. And then, again, this is where it's a little bit complicated here. So you've got to go left and right to go through the pedals. You've got to wait until you can see the rhythm pedal on the screen. And then you've got to hit the corresponding pedal. So if your rhythm pedal is the third one along, then button number 3 is the one that will start the rhythm. Here we go. I've got to say as well, okay, for someone that's, you know, perhaps, what can I say? It's not my favourite kind of kit, but, you know, I get it. You know, the 30-year ago me, 1,000,000% would have been going, wow, this is amazing. And I've got this kind of, my relatively affordable guitar and amp, and this is going to make everything sound infinitely better. So I get it. But I do have to say that you don't get drums as good as that until you go... You know, I'm just going to say this now. I don't think any of the Boss loopers have got drums as good as that.
No.
What do you think, Pete? No. He agrees?
Yeah. Good drums. They're really
good. They're good drums. Yeah. All right, so we're giving it... right, so anyway, that's our rhythm doodah. If we want to swap the rhythm one out for the looper, we find the looper. There it is, mono looper, and we now put that one in. You can have the looper and the rhythm thing going if you want to. We'll do that as like some sort of mega finale. But now it's in, it works like a 1-button looper. So if you're familiar with, you know, your affordable Ditto loopers and stuff, hit it on the 1 and then hit it again when you want to start the loop. So
nice
hit it. So do you want to count me in?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, easy.
You can do an 80-second loop. So that doesn't mean 80 seconds of jamming. That means an actual 80-second progression Good luck counting back in on the one after 80 seconds. You just have to hold this to clear it. Right, it does overdubs as well, so it's a pretty, all the features that you'd find on a little one-button looper, you would get that. Are you ready to try and do drums and looping?
We'll see.
Woo! So, I've got rhythm in the middle here, and I've got mono as number 3, so this is a tiny bit convoluted. You've got to start the rhythm off, then hit the looper, and you get a count in, which is good. Then you stop the looper when you finish doing your loop. And then you've got to remember to turn the rhythm off, because at that time you're hearing the loop rhythm as well as the drum machine going, which gives you a weird kind of
phasey
thing. So you'll see what I mean. So here we go. Let's have some hard rock John. And then we're going to kick the looper in and give you a count in. Do you know what? And I just was going to see if I could change patch as well, but you can't, because of course that makes sense, because the looper is part of the patch.
Yes, that's right.
So you could have turned pedals off within that patch and the looper would still go, but you can't change patch.
Change the preset,
Decent. That's it.
Yeah.
I feel like that guy off of Instagram that goes like this a lot when something happens. But there you are. John and I will revisit, I think, all the different multi-effects units that £250 buys
a lot
you
now, aren't there?
in the summer, and do a bit of a recap. But look, Zoom's always a solid choice.
Yeah.
Sounds fine, drums are great, price is fair. There you are.
Yeah, decent.
Happy?
I'm
Next
very
album
happy.
being done on a Zoom G2X4.
All of it. Drums as well.
Good man, good man. All right, well look, thank you for watching. Please comment below. Links if you want to buy one of these or find out more will be in the description.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in another video
See you later.
soon.